Alrighty guys, and welcome back to an educational informative Dead by Daylight survivor game. Unfortunately, we are on Father's Chapel in a solo queue match. Now, Father's Chapel is a very good map for killer. It's small, it's condensed, it's confined, and it has a 3-gen on both sides of the map. The worst version of the 3-gen is actually indeed inside the carnival. So straight away, I'm going to try and run through the map, and I'm going to try and work on the carnival generator. None of my allies have jumped on a gen yet, which is unfortunate. I didn't hear a heartbeat. I didn't go through the center. I went relatively close to the center. Let's apply pressure towards this. Now, this is a solo queue game. You'll notice that we all spawned together. That was as of the most recent Dead by Daylight update. It changed how survivors spawn, and they always spawn in groups now. Unfortunately, she would have heard the gen, but she didn't come over. So we'll come over here and we'll finish the gen solo. Looks like we are versing a Nemesis. It's not a bad map for this killer. Why do I say that? It's a smaller map, like I said before, so killers who can't control the board with fast amounts of movement speed don't get a lot of value on maps like Templar Purgation, Ormond. On smaller maps like Cold Tower, Father's Chapel, Gittigan's the Game, they get a lot of value because they're able to move through the board quickly. Just like Trickster, just like Pyramid Head, and just like Artist. So, let's proceed to work on the gen. We've almost completed the gen straight. We've got one behind us, one here, and there'll be one to my left-hand side. Do you see that right there? So look at how tight this 3-gen is. Notice that this is the most important generator for me to do straight away. After I've done this, I'm going to go work on the generator in the center of the map. Now, he is already in tier 2 whip, but he's only whipped one player. He needs to whip 2 players to get tier 2 whip. So the only way he got his whip is he whipped a zombie. So now that we know he's whipped a zombie, so now he can actually break pallets with his whip. So now he actually becomes a real killer. I see a zombie moving underneath too. We're going to just wait for build to last. I am not going to use my toolbox on the next generator that I get an opportunity to. Instead, I'm going to hold onto the toolbox unless I'm breaking an important gen. Now we see that there is going to hurt because we know he's got a 3-gen on the other side of the board. I'm going to walk around this. 50-50, I'm going to walk into him. Nah. Looks like he's going to hear the gen in the middle and he's going to go towards it. I'm not going to drop a pallet to kill this zombie. It's inconvenient that this lady has already been whipped and the zombie has already seen me. But, you know what? Let's get a quick heal on her. Every single player has got off gens. This just goes to show you the value of having a perk like Kindred. You don't have to come in. We can see that this girl is currently injured and it's taking longer to heal her. So the killer has Sloppy Butcher. The other choice was Leverage. But the killer, if he had Leverage, I would have a debuff at the bottom of the screen, which I do not have. If I let go of this heal, it's going to regress quite a large amount of distance, so I would really like to complete this before the zombie comes over, and I am going to be able to do exactly that. Alright, let's move. Generator across the board completed, but I already completed one over there, so that didn't really help us too much. I'd like to work on the gen in the center. I'm going to work on this one instead. Now, the reason I'm doing this one isn't because it's a good gen, isn't because I have access to an amazing window or a pallet, it's because my teammate used the only resource I had to defend myself. There's no pallet, there's no window, there's no nothing. Then we got another player walking around, getting this generator completed. I did want to hold onto my toolbox, but right now, oh, that was painful. That's going to really hurt my toolbox. Right now, the priority states that this gen needs to be completed. Because if there was a 3-gen on that side and a 3-gen on this side, but 2 gens are done on that side, we know he's got a closer to the 3-gen on this side. Not to mention the gen in the middle hasn't been done, which is really bad. I would not have worked on the gen in the carnival if I had my allies working on the gen to my right. However, I did complete my gen first. He's chasing somebody else. I'm not going to be too nervous about the gen right now. We can listen to the heartbeat, and as it gets louder, we can dictate whether we need to run or not. We can also look at the HUD on the left-hand side of the screen. The HUD will give me an example of if the killer lets go of the chase or applies it with me. So we know the killer has Eruption. We also know we don't have enough toolbox in order to sabo this, and we also know the killer is most likely going to hook the survivor right in front of the generator he knows is being worked on, right? That is just logic. The only reason a killer would take him away is if the killer has access to pain res. So I need to be ready to eat pain res right now. No pain res. So that didn't make a lot of sense to me. He knew there was somebody on this gen, but he hooked him in front of a generator that has already been completed. The only logical explanation to making that decision is all the pallets have been consumed, all the windows have been consumed, and now that is a killer dead or a survivor dead zone. It's the only reason he can make that play. I'm going to fill my toolbox and then I'm going to look for a save. It will fill to 66%. I would have jumped out of the locker if he was coming over. I'm not going to risk getting grabbed off of the hook. I do know it takes 10 seconds. I also know this girl will take 70 seconds from struggle and then 70 seconds to die as well. I can hear a zombie spawning in. Teammate got the save. Oh, instantly back to the 180. So the killer is looking to tunnel him out. I need to hope that my other ally is able to get in the way and body block and stop her from dying while I go work on the gen upstairs. Don't know why that zombie is just standing there. I'm guessing it's just spawning in. There's Eruption. This gen is nowhere near done. I don't think using the toolbox is the right idea. I'll use my hands. This lady should have really taken a hit for her teammate based on the fact that the teammate was on death hook. I wasn't close enough to do it. She was the only player close enough to do it. But like I said before, this is a solo queue match. Notice how close these two gens are now. Because he kicked the gen, I'm going to just keep rotating. I'll start working on this gen with this gentleman. I got a pretty strong loop behind me. Here he comes. Let's move. I don't think crouching there is a good idea, bud. And if he hits you, he knew you were there, and the only way he'd... I think he was afraid Nemesis was going to teleport and follow-up hit him. So that's Jolt regression, by the way. Two people scream, so he's got a nice tight 3 gen. It's going to be very hard to beat this. Teammate dropped the pallet and took the hit. But he took the hit, then dropped the pallet almost 2 seconds later. Be very careful when it comes to utilizing resources. That's pain res as well. So we got hit with Jolt and pain res. Really inconvenient. Stop it from regressing. He's going to check the gen upstairs. It makes sense. Mine got hit twice. She's being forced off her gen. I will have to go for the hook save. However, he has all the time in the world, and we need to make sure we got pressure on these objectives. Right now, having a dead player with 1 gen left, it's inconvenient, but good coordination from a team. We can make this happen. I really wish she had Kindred. She should be able to see that my gen's closer to being done. And not to mention, the killer will come over, kick my gen. This is her window to go in for a save. Yeah, let's go for a little bit of a run. Not too far. Far enough so he can see me, and he has to make a decision right now. He hit the gen with Pop Goes the Weasel, so he's got Pulp, he's got Jolt, he's got Pain Res, he's got 3 massive regression perks. I don't know what his 4th perk is. Now, he is most likely going to commit to the tunnel, that way he can down a player and get an extra stack of Pop Goes the Weasel. I'd be very surprised if he takes the unique hook on the other guy. It would give him access to Pain Res. We've already maxed out our objective. If he wants to come over, I have the shack. I have quite a lot that I can loop around. Unfortunately, having the teammate eliminated early does hurt us in terms of productivity by a lot. It's removing 25% of the game. He's coming back. I'm going to just leave a little bit. And now I know he's going to chase me. So rather than just standing here waiting, I'm going to get an even longer lead on him. Because he knows this is the only gen being worked on. So that's why I'm going to run nice and early, and I'm going to start looping him with that. Notice he just gave up on the chase. He was like, had no interest, and he walked away. Why? Because it's going to cost him too much time. Yeah, I see you see me. I'm going to wait here for a few seconds while you try and do a 180, and come back and see me in about 5 seconds from now. Give him 5 seconds, and he'll be back, I reckon. So let's count him out. 5, 4, 3... I'm surprised he didn't come back. He saw the other guys, so he rotated towards the other guys. That makes sense. We've already maxed out objective. We had it maxed for a while. This is the only gen that's close to being done. So right now, we really need to hope that he doesn't come back while I complete this. I do believe 2 players are going to die this trial. And that just comes down to bad synergy. Allies not taking hits for each other. Bad split of what gens to work on. I need to make sure this generator is getting done. It is getting completed. 99 a door, and then look to help an ally. Both doors on the carnival side, that's really awkward for us. We have a lot of really strong loops past the shack, but on this side, we have less resources available that are going to be beneficial. Let's get to this door. Hope, excuse me. Hope that my teammate gets to the other door. Both doors being opened right now. I could look for the body block for the guy, or I could stay to this door. I don't know if he's going to come at this door or come at the other door. Realistically, I should be running in through the map looking at taking a hit for him. I don't know where he is. He goes down. I wouldn't have made it to him in time, mathematically speaking. Is he savable? The answer is yes. He is savable. We just need to have good synergy. Now, I have Kindred. I don't think my teammate has Kindred. Open the door. Yep. Both doors have been opened. Her waiting in the exit gate. Good stuff. She decided not to wait in the exit. I'm gonna go through the main building. This zombie's bugged, unfortunately, for the killer. We're both getting closer, which is good. Alright, I need to make sure I took the hit, and now we're able to run. Notice I didn't start the unhook, because I know I couldn't get it done in time. teammate looking for the body block, and he's going to get it. Look at that. That was a perfect play by the Laura at the end of the game. Anyways, guys, that's going to be an educational, informative Dead by Daylight survivor game. So if you get hit by the killer, don't panic and drop resources straight away. Try and apply the split. Try and make sure you're there and able to come together and work as a squad or as a team. If we look at our objectives, I barely got any boldness. I got barely any chase of the killer. However, I applied the pressure towards the objectives. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed the education informative Dead by Daylight killer content and survivor content, make sure you tune into the live stream. I do education informative DBD killer and survivor content over at Twitch if you guys want to pop on in. Anyways, guys, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the fog in the next video. Have a good one. Cheers.